What's going on, y'all? It's your friendly neighborhood Summer Road Boy, man. You already know what I'm doing. I'm chilling. Bring out the first episode of my series, Yu-Gi-Oh! 101. Yu-Gi-Oh! 101 is for players who looked at this game and wanted to play it, but never had a chance to. This is for you to not only learn the game, but play the game effectively against like all the high-ranking players that we play today. Now, the first episode is going to be straight up on the most crucial thing in Yu-Gi-Oh! Your deck. If your deck doesn't come together and work together effectively, then you're just going to fall apart and lose every game. I'm going to give you a deck profile of mine. And when that is finished, I'm going to show you how the deck works together. And then we'll just go on from there. First card is Jinzo. When he is summoned, all trap cards are negated, and all face-up trap cards are negated. That's including my own. The next card is going to be the next in the lock, which is Horus, the Black Flame Dragon, level 6 and level 8. See? Level 6 and level 8. When he is summoned to the field, all spell cards can be negated and destroyed. That's including face-up. Caius, the Shadow Monarch. When he is summoned, I can remove and play one card in the field. If I remove a dark monster, my opponent gets 1,000 points of damage dealt. Next is Pitch Black Werewolf. When he attacks, no trap cards can be active during battle phase. Gravekeeper Spy. I use them as tokens for higher monsters like Jinzo, Horus, level 6, or Armed Dragon, level 5. But they do have a good defense, because when they're flipped, I can special summon another Gravekeeper monster. See? Next is Cyber Dragon. It has my name in it. Yeah. Mask of Darkness. Flip. Select one trap card from my opponent's graveyard and add it to my hand. Marshmallow. The control of this card, when it is a face-up attack position, the opponent takes 1,000 points of damage, so that's good. And it can be the struggle battle. Caius, when he inflicts battle damage to my opponent, I remove and play up to 2 monster cards from your graveyard, which is a very, very badass effect. Gores is defense. Morphing Jar, when it's flipped, both players lose 5 cards and draw 5. Krebons, he's a tuner, so I use him for straight up synchro summoning, which Rob will explain in later episodes. But for now, I'm going to just talk about the deck and the deck profile. Krebons is good, by the way. Armed Dragon level 5, I run 2, his brother level 7, and level 10. Armed Dragon level 10 is basically like Lightning Vortex, the spell that you're seeing right under, which I'm about to show you right now. Discard one card, all face-up attack monsters on the field are destroyed. And when I have those 3 cards on the field, Jinzo, Horus, and Armed Dragon, I'll explain later. Chaos Sorcerer. When I remove from play DD Warrior Leader, a light monster, and Kaiko, a dark monster, I can special summon him. Now, when he's on the field, I remove from play 1 monster on the field and it never comes back. The only difference is he can't attack when I use that effect, so it's not that bad of a trade-off. DD Warrior Lady, after damage calculations, say if you attack me or I attack you, I remove from play her and your monster. A very good effect. And another Krebons. The next is the spells, which is a Lure of Darkness. Remove from play one of my dark monsters from my hand to draw 2 cards, like again Gravekeeper Spy, Kaiku, or Gores, any other dark monster. Next is Mind Control. When I activate this card, I can take control of one of my opponent's monsters, but it cannot attack or be tributed. So this is used for strictly synchro summoning. Say for example with Krebons, like if you had Cyber Dragon on the field and I use Mind Control and I had Krebons on the field, I can synchro summon for a higher monster. That's basically taking nothing and turning it to something. Mystical Space Typhoon. Just target one spell trap card and destroy the target. It doesn't negate the effect. Most people get this wrong. It doesn't negate the effect. It just destroys a card. Like, say for example, I activate Heavy Storm and you activate Mystical Space Typhoon. It doesn't stop the effect. The effect still follows. You destroy the card, but it doesn't stop the effect afterwards. Most people need to understand that. Now, if you did it like on Call the Haunted or a face down spell or trap card, then yeah, it works perfectly. Book of Eclipse. Change all face-up monsters on the field to face-down defense position. During the end phase, all face-down defense position monsters your opponent controls flip face-up, and your opponent draw for each card with an effect. I use that more than Book of Moon, as you see. Yeah, sure, why not? Book of Moon is targeting one monster, while Book of Eclipse targets all. See, look, you see right there. Flip all to face down defense, while Book of Moon is only targeting one. I find this more useful. Say, if I get swarmed, it helps. Already explained. Oh man, sorry. Emergency Teleport. I can special summon one level 3 or lower psychic monster from my deck or my hand. In this case, Creebons, because he's my only psychic. And he's removed from play at the end phase. Now, if I use him from Synchro Summoning, he's going to the graveyard. Like, I Synchro Summon with Creebons with Armed Dragon. It's not removed from play. It's going to the graveyard because it's used for summoning. Nothing else. Now, if it was staying to the whole entire end phase, then yes, it's removed from play. Next card is Pot of Avarice. Select 5 monsters from your graveyard. Return this card to your deck, then draw 2 cards. Very, very useful, but you have to shuffle. Reasoning is a taboo. Say, for example, you select a monster's level, 1 through 10. How can I explain it? Say, for example, like, you see the stars up there on Armed Dragon level 10. You choose a star from 1 to 10. And if you guess right, all the cards I draw will go to the graveyard. But if you guess wrong, then all those cards go to me. Say, for example, like, you say a 4-star. I keep drawing until I hit a 4-star. If I hit Jinzo, he special summons to the field, and all the cards I drew, I keep. But if you guess right, and like I drew a DD Warrior Lady, which is a 4-star, like I said, all the cards I drew go to the graveyard. This is kind of a make me or break me situation, but when you're have the upper hand, you just use this card for fun. Now, the next card will be... I'm not even looking at the screen. Sorry. The next card will be Fissure. As soon as it gets there, no big deal. Boom, Fissure. Destroy the monster with lowest attack. And if it's a tie, you choose. Autonomous Action Unit. This is nothing but strictly a last resort card. You pay 1,500 life points to select one monster card my opponent controls in the graveyard and special summon it. When the monster or the spell card is destroyed, destroy both. Strictly last resort. Don't use it for anything else. I promise you, it's a waste. Now, the next card I'm going to be bringing out is the Traps Dark Bride. I use this more than Mystical Space or Solemn Warning or Solemn Judgment because I never use the cards. Dark Bride is more useful than Mystical Space. Why? Because when my opponent activates a spell or trap card, I can negate it, destroy it, but he draws 1 card. To me, that's a decent trade-off. That's my opinion, and I have 3. The next card will be Mirror Force. When my opponent declares an attack, destroy all attack position monsters my opponent controls. Very awesome. Magic Cylinder. When my opponent declares an attack, the damage that will be dealt to me is going to you. Call the Haunted. I can take 1 monster from my graveyard, special summon it to my field. When Call the Haunted is destroyed or my monster, it goes to the graveyard. Second red 2 armor. When my opponent declares an attack, I destroy the attacking monster. Very, very good. Karma Cut, discard 1 card from my hand. Remove from play 1 monster card my opponent controls. And negate attack. When you attack, ends the battle phase. It negates the attack, by the way. Blackluster Soldier is... This is my side deck, sorry. Now, Blackluster Soldier is just like... Oh wait, Blackluster Soldier. Envy of Darkness. Envoy. It's just like Chaos Sorcerer. Except when he destroys an opponent's monster by battle, he can attack twice. It's just like that. Then Utopia. I don't use XYZ monsters, but I just thought to put that in. When I have an XYZ monster and you attack, I can detach 1 to negate the attack. I don't find Utopia ever useful, so it's just there. Armor Yarn. I equip this to my monster or my opponent's monster, but when I equip this to a monster, it gains the attack power from Armor Yarn. Say if I have a 2400 monster at 18, that's a decent attack power. Next is Catastor. When you attack a non-dock monster, it's automatically destroyed. No damage calculation added. Very, very good. Baronic. I can discard a number of cards from my hand to the graveyard to return any of my opponent's cards to his hand. So say for example you have like Armed Dragon level 10 on your field. I can use Baronic's effect, discard to the graveyard to bring Armed Dragon level 10 to your hand. Very, very good. Very good. The next card will be Arcanite Magician. He has 2 spell counters, and when I remove them, I can either give him 1000 attack for each, or I can remove 1 spell counter to destroy 1 card my opponent controls. I use it to destroy spell and traps like when I have nothing else. It's like a Mystical Space Typhoon in my opinion. Black Rose, blow up the field. That's basically her effect. Stardust, he's the basic staple for synchro decks, so I run 2, because when he's targeted by spells, traps, or effects, negate, and he comes back. Archfiend, he's new, but I use Red Dragon Archfiend and Red Nova Dragon mostly because their effects are more badass than any other card in there in my extra deck. Okay, now that the deck profile's out of the way, these cards work well together. Jinzo stops traps, Horus stops spells, Armed Dragon stops monsters. That is a perfect lock. When I stop your back rows of spells and traps, I have nothing to worry about. And when I have Armed Dragon level 10 destroying your face-up monsters, you can't attack. This is just stopping you from doing anything. And if I want to pull out a synchro monster, that's just adding insult to injury, you know? All this deck does is stop spells, traps, and your monsters from ever coming near me. This deck works well together. These cards build it up. If it ain't for Armed Dragon level 5, making it to 10, I wouldn't have another Lightning Vortex. If I don't have Horus, I will not have Horus level 8. If I do not have Gravekeeper Spies, I wouldn't have a Jinzo. This deck works well together because it builds up to those 3 cards getting onto the field. Some of the traps defend them, some of the spells help them. And all the monsters are all there to support Horus, Jinzo, and Armed Dragon. Now, when you take from this episode is the cards gotta work together in a perfect balance, almost as a harmony. When the deck works well together, you will achieve a victory. But the video is coming to an end, and I'm out. Peace.